Okay, so I'm going to do another pencil project, and I've been thinking about doing this for a little while, but funnily enough, someone else has beaten me to the post. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this today, and I'm going to make a little pencil clock. Now this other guy I've seen who's done this clock, pretty awesome work. You know, he's obviously a great wood turner. Obviously he's been watching a few others doing some pencil projects. Whether or not he's seen any of mine or not, I don't know. But you know, some vases and some bowls and things that he mentions. And he mentions about obviously us cutting pencils up. No, sorry, get all that mixed up. He mentions us basically sticking, you know, super gluing pencils together, which does take quite some time, as he mentioned, and it is very boring. So he had an idea of basically chopping the pencils up and putting them into a square tub that he made to make a bowl blank after he put it on his saw and cut it all out and everything else. So what I thought I'd do is I'd do something on the similar lines, but rather than make my own little square tub to put the pencils in, I thought I'd just get a round one. So makes life simple to just put them in there, and then you've already got your bowl blank ready for you, so you don't even have to stick it on the bandsaw. And also, rather than buy long pencils and have them sort of like as he was doing, chopping them up into halves, I thought I'd just buy small ones that have already been chopped up. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put all these little pencils into the pot. So again, rather than what we want to try and do here is we want to try and lay them all up inside. So I'm going to lay them all up, and again, you know, this chap shows you how it's done there as well, and you know, he does an awesome job, and he's got some really valid points there, you know. So rather than gluing them all up, and spending ages trying to make this pencil project, the good thing about this is this pencil clock is going to basically show all the top sides. So it's going to show all these sides, which is going to look quite cool. So we're going to just keep piling them up in here, so on and so on, until we fill the whole bowl. And then what we're going to do then is we're going to pour resin in it, and job done. And I'll tell you what, with this kind of, even with these pencils here, I think we'll probably get 2 clocks out of this. So we'll get it on the lathe and we'll get 2 clocks on there. So you can see what I'm doing here basically is I'm putting in the pencils. I've just led this down this way, and I'm just basically stacking the pencils in. So I don't have to worry about gluing them together, and any gaps. I mean, they will sit together quite nicely after you shuffle them around, because they will, obviously, because they're all hexagonal anyway, so they will fit together quite well. And when you put their resin in, you know, it'll all seal it up anyway. But in actual fact, you don't actually need hexagonal pencils for this type of way of doing things, because the round pencils will be fine, because when you fill them with resin, you get that kind of 3D effect with the resin as well, so that will look quite cool as well. So we'll keep stacking the pencils in, and then pretty much once they're in there, we're ready to pour the resin. So it's fairly quick and easy. So I'll carry on filling these up. Okay, so there we go. They're all in there now, nicely packed in there. Now, because this bowl isn't dead flat all the way around, it's got a little curve in it. These ones are going to stick out a little bit, but that doesn't matter really. These ones are just kind of pushing in, keeping all the rest of them fairly tight. So you can see there how tight they are, which looks quite cool. Obviously if I emptied it, it will fall out, but there, I've joined them all up with the, you know, on this one, because they're hexagonal, they are all joined up quite nicely. But again, doesn't matter, because if you've got using the circle ones, then you know, you just fill the gaps with the resin, and that will come out looking pretty cool anyway. So next, now, so I've sealed this, put some oil inside here, so basically hopefully this will just drop out when it's done, without me having to ruin the bowl, because then I can use the bowl again on another project. So there we go. So I'm going to fill this up with resin now, and then we'll let that set overnight, and then we've got our bowl blank ready. You know, I might chop this the pencil bit off the end here, but we're ready to stick it on the lathe really. And then what you're going to have is you're going to have quite a nice effect with this kind of project. So I'll just push these down a bit so they're all in there. So you're going to have an effect like this, filled with resin as well. And now I mentioned earlier on, this other guy made a clock out of pencils, which is a pretty cool idea really. As I say, I made a vase out of one of my pencil projects, and a few people mentioned about making it into a lamp. So I did. I've made it into a lamp now. I'll show it to you when I go and grab it. But yeah, it looks pretty cool actually as a lamp. So I'll probably make a couple more of those. So yeah, this is going to be a clock, I think. But then again, with everything I make, it does turn out to be different from sometimes from what I've actually got imagined in my head. So if it doesn't pan out to being a clock, then we'll maybe turn it into another bowl. But nevertheless, that was a lot more pain-free than having to stick all the pencils together. Plus, like I've got here, I've started doing a pencil project here. I've got some pencils in here. With this scenario, you've got the pencils. I don't know if you can see that. The light's not brilliant in here, is it? You've got the side of the pencils here, and then you've got the top of the pencils here. But whereas with this type of scenario, you're going to see all the pencils like in front of you like that, and then you've got those bits on the side there. But by the time you've made it, it's probably going to be about that thick, I expect, anyway. Anyway, so I'll get the resin poured in, and we'll see where we go from there. Okay, so here we go. So I'm just going to pour this resin now, mixed up. It's not going to be enough, but we'll start off with this. We'll just get this all in here. It shouldn't take a lot of resin actually, because obviously they're all sealed together quite tight, so it's just going to get into all the gaps really. So I'll leave that to settle, and then we'll pour a little bit more on there. Hopefully it might not need to mix up much more. Okay, there it is. So I've put it all in there now. I put these pieces of wood on top of here and sealed this down, and this bit as well, because they keep popping out of here. Because obviously the pencils tend to rise, and we don't want them rising like this one here. Look, we ideally want that to stay down there, otherwise that could ruin the whole project. So I need to probably try and stick that down in a second. So I've tried to just seal it down there, try to keep the pencils down, and we'll come back to this when this is all dry. Okay everyone, this is now mounted up in the lathe. So these are pretty sharp, pretty nasty. These are, you don't want to get your fingers caught on that, it hurts just touching them. So we're going to try and make this pencil clock. We just need to shape this off now, get rid of all these sharp bits of pencils, and yeah, just seeing how we can get this shaped up. Should be fairly easy, but you never know really with these things. So I'm going to use the carbide tool, pretty good tool really. So I'm going to use this to try and do this. It's going to make a lot of mess, so here we go. Right, okay, so we've loaded this up now into the bad boy chuck. I've been able to turn that around now. I've finished the face as best I can, and so you never really get a great finish from these pencils because the wood used is pretty crap. So you just really got to try the best you can. You know, having them wrapped up in resin helps the finish, you know, because you can get a bit more of a glossy sort of finish on that. So I've drilled a hole, which is where the mechanism will go through for the clock. I haven't got the clock piece yet. I've ordered that, so I'm just waiting for that to come. So what I'll need to do is obviously make this larger and a bit deeper for the clock mechanism to fit in. So I'm geared up, ready to do that now. I don't know, as I say, how deep to make that or how wide to make this yet. I'm kind of imagining it's going to come out here somewhere, and it's going to go in quite far yet. But as I say, we'll come back when I've got that piece in the post. Right, I've finished the clock. There we go. So there's the piece. What I've done is I've finished it off with a couple of coats of gloss lacquer. So this gloss lacquer here, which is the melamine gloss lacquer, did about 3 coats of that, which has given it a bit of a shine. So that looks quite nice. Now, this is just basically showing you how it's going to look, but this clock, when I've opened it up, it's actually broken. So this hand just wobbles like this. I've been through it a few times and I don't really think, I think it is actually broken, so I'll have to take that back to the shop. But at least you can see kind of what the finished article is going to look like. What we've got on the back here is, well, there we go, so we can just hang that up with a nail, which looks quite cool. Put the old battery in there. I haven't really buffed up, put any gloss lacquer on the bottom here, just done a bit of wood wax on that, but on the front piece, so obviously it would sit around this way. Doesn't really matter really which way it goes for the purpose of the video. So there we go, so there's your little pencil clock. Hope you enjoyed that, and gives you some sort of ideas maybe if you wanted to give it a shot. As I say, small pencils, you can buy those from eBay, which are these packets here. So that's what you want to use, is the smaller ones. Now you can actually get 2 clocks out of that, so I've got another one over here, as we did earlier on, still with this base on it, so that will definitely do, I reckon, another clock. So I get 2 of them out of that, so as you can see, yeah, definitely get another one out of there. So I'll crack on and get that one done as well. But yeah, get the little bowl, get the little pencils, and get some resin, and you can find these things. I got this in Hobbycraft actually, locally to me. I've ordered some off of the internet, but this one looked quite nice. I saw it in Hobbycraft the other day. However, it is, as I say, it's broken. There we go. Anyway, so hope you enjoyed that, and please like and subscribe. Thank you. I just also wanted to say as well, I've got quite a lot more subscribers, so I really do appreciate that. It's quite overwhelming to get some people that are actually interested in watching some of the stuff that I do. I'm not by far an expert at what I do, but you know, I've been doing sort of turning now for well, about a year and a half. Learned quite a lot of stuff off of other YouTubers and books and other internet and stuff like that. So I really appreciate the extra watchers, subscribers, followers, and you know, great. Obviously, the positive comments are fantastic. The negative ones, not so fantastic. But I suppose you're going to get all sorts of comments on YouTube these days from across the world. But anyway, thanks guys for supporting me. Those of you that are here for a genuine reason and actually do like what I do. So thanks very much. Keep them coming. I'll keep trying to come up with some different sort of ideas and bits and pieces. I've got a few other ideas that I'm working on at the moment, so see if we can get those out to you soon. So thanks guys, and please like and subscribe. Cheers, bye.